Oh, hello, welcome back. It's Matt from Heroes for Hire Comic Club channel here on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. Once again, we got to stop meeting like this, but just reading some old V for Vendetta. So, we were installed. Welcome to the next episode, the latest episode of Matt's new comic book recommendations. And today we'll be talking about JSA #1. I have to admit, a lot of the started with this one, I didn't know the backstory. I mean, I know the Just Society of America. I know they go back even further than the Justice League of America. But I mean, I wasn't up to date on a lot of the stuff. I know some stuff have no absolute power, but so I was playing catch up a little bit. I have to admit, but we'll start off here, and they talked about you see the old Justice Society there, and it says they were the first, and I do mean the very first. Everything you know, all our heroes sprang from them, which is true. They were born when we needed them most. As the shadow of the Second World War grew wider and darker, these mystery men emerged. Some came from science, some from magic, and some just knew how to throw one hell of a left hook. They were a small society. And it talks about how they grew and how, they kind of passed towards Justice League. But anytime somebody needed them, they would come back and rise to the occasion. But it also says they became a family, but it says a family can be torn apart. It all started with them, and now I'm scared that it may all end with them as well. So look, we got some hard times. As Dusty Rhodes would say, we have some hard times ahead, if you will. So you see these two thugs from Cobra, Kobra, not Cobra. They're running. The guy says, "Man, we can't go back. I see a shadow." He says, "What do you mean you see a shadow?" Well, you'll see what he means. Here's obsidian. You remember obsidian? He's like coming after him, and he's asking what's going on. He said, "Tell me." He said, "The shadows are alive." He says, "Where?" We don't. He says, "Tell me." We've been tracking Cobra's moves all week, and we've watched you two preparing for another attack. Where is it going to be this time? He says, "The museum, the secret museum." The other guy gets mad at him and shoots him. Says, "You traitor." He's getting ready to off himself, take himself out, delete himself. Can't say the S word on here. And so they stop him from doing that. And they're Obsidian's like, you see the black, what's her, I don't know if it's black, what's her name, but what I meant by not familiar with some of the characters. So you'll have to forgive me. Well, Obsidian is like going to look in this guy's head, and the leader comes in and says, "No, you're not going to do that. We're not like that. We don't do that." So apparently these people went off on a little side mission on their own behind the other JSA's back. So they get back to Infinity Inc. See here, the Round Table, just Society of America, and all that jazz, of course. And they're kind of arguing about uh, like she's saying, "I'm the team leader, and we agreed to stick together." She says, "No, you agreed to wait, and we should you would have sat here and watched the monitor board as more people died." So there's already a division between these. They're cut in half, like they're divided on what to do. And then she says, they're just arguing about it. All right, they don't know what to do. Some of them want to go out, and others want to wait. And so they all kind of just adjourn the meeting, and like it's time. Everybody needs to cool off. I have to admit, I'm kind of lost on some of the backstory here, but apparently what happened was, um, like here he says, he's talking to Jess here about like, why did you go off with them? And she's like, we got to do something, And and she basically says, she tells him, apparently they are an item, but you see, Sand here is talking to Jade, and he's like, I need to talk to you about us. So apparently they got something going on. I didn't know about that. So she's like, can you take? She goes, look, Sand, this is just not a good time. Okay, can't I can't really deal with any of that right now. and she like gets him to take monitor duty. So then these two are arguing because they're item, I guess. And she tells him at the end, the world's on fire, and the JSA needs to adapt, fight back. The man I fell in love with would have been the first one to take action. So, ooh, shots fired, I guess, right there. Trouble in paradise. Well, then you see Beth's in here with this boy named Jakeem, and he's in a coma. And apparently, what happened was the Justice Society's brownstone was attacked while they were gone, and Hawkman, Hawk Girl, Wildcat, the original Green Lantern, and Doctor Fate, and all of them are trapped in this. And Jason Garrick, the original Flash, are all trapped in the Tower of Fate somewhere, and they're trying. And then when you get to them here, it says right here, the Mystery Men. You see the Tower of Fate. You got Hawkman and Hawkgirl out here fighting off these enemies out here. They're like flying duty. You see like these flying winged creatures, like winged horses, warriors, or something coming after them. Well, then, and they're saying, he says, Hawkman says the situation out here isn't getting any better. The locals are gathering, and she's right. Carter's right. Alan more and more of them by the hour. If they get in, we're done. So Alan is in there talking about the original Green Lanterns. There were Doctor Fate and Wildcat, and Doctor Fate's meditating, he's like trying to keep him shielded in there. He's trying to use his powers, all his magical abilities, and like he tells him to keep flying Sentry. And says Doctor Fate is doing everything we can to keep them at bay until Jay finds his way out here. So they're trapped. So we find out they're trapped in the Tower of Fate, and there's like many exits. But so Jay's the fastest one, so he's tethered to the Green Lantern, so he don't get lost. But he's going through all these exits as fast as he can to find the exit. And Doctor Fate's saying, I'm trying, Green Lantern, but there are many voices in my head, so many things in the dark, calling, calling to me, asking me to let them in. And Green Lantern says, "Look, Jay, things are getting bad. You need to find us a way out." And he's saying, I'm working on it, Alan. There's lots of ground to cover. Just don't lose me because I can't. I'll get lost and I'll never get out. And then we're done." So then all of a sudden, Doctor Fate says, "Did Flash say lost? I think maybe I'm the one getting lost." And you see this crazy stuff going on, and then he collapses. So that's it. Their shielding's over with. They're done as far as keeping them out. Somebody says like this dark figure says, "Let me take your burden." So their goose is almost cooked. Looks like to see now the floodgates have opened, and now Hawkman and Hawkgirl are taking on a horde of enemies by themselves outside the Tower of Fate. So then we go back to the brownstone where the Justice Society lives in New York, and we see Obsidian slinking off. I think it's Obsidian, uh, slinking off by himself. And then you find out that, and he says, you hear this? He says, "The Tower of Fate is under siege. It's beginning." It's like a disembodied voice telling him. And then Obsidian, or who we think is Obsidian, is saying, "Already? I thought the kid would last longer. Oh well." And then this voice says, "Oh, and the rest of the JSA, you're sure they don't suspect you?" He says, "No, no, they don't suspect a thing." And then you find out that it's not Obsidian. It's Johnny Sorrow. Look, you see, he was just uh, covered. And you're like, well, now we're wondering who is behind all this mayhem, trying to take down the Justice Society of America. Then you find out it's the Injustice Society. You know, so they're in trouble. The Injustice Society, and you hear this woman say, "No, we're just getting started." So they don't know there is a traitor amongst them. They just don't know it yet. So I liked it. I love the old school Justice Society of America. If you Now, I want to put a caveat on it. If you don't like the old JSA or any of that stuff, you're not going to like this. But if you like the JSA, you're going to like this. It's a good story. So I'm actually looking forward to number issue 2. And I kind of got interested in some of these characters because a few of my friends like the JSA, like Higgy Pop and Clip on Comics. So I think I'm going to keep on getting it, and I give it a thumbs up. I recommend it. if you're a JSA fan, I do recommend it. So there you go, another new comic recommendation. Now I do want to have a few announcements for the channels. I always do. Of course, you'll see me on my links. You can follow me on all those socials, and you'll see links to them on my YouTube channel page. And I have an announcement. There will be at my show Sunday. It's called Heroes for Hire Comic Club Sunday Super Show Extravaganza, where we talk about all the upcoming releases for this upcoming new comic book day. And we talk about the trending top 20. Plus, we talk about movies and music and all kinds of other pop culture stuff. Because that's what we do here. I'm comic books and pop culture 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So don't miss all that. And remember, next week on Tuesday, the 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be the second episode of my new series called Comic Conversations. I will be interviewing Cliff from Cliff on Comics. And the week after that, it will be I got the whole month booked for December. Going into January, we're gonna have all kinds of great guests. So stay tuned to all those episodes, and I'll be dropping those once a week here on YouTube. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!